the wind and gave a car suspected to have been smuggled into the country out. A food vendor at Nta Junction and others mining around the area were said to have escaped by the whiskers as the car, which was being chased by the operatives, swerved to a side street with the operatives in hot pursuit. The reckless conduct of the unidentified custom officials angered residents who trade and almost attacked them in protest. The Senate has urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to carry out assessment of the contamination caused by the pipeline explosion of July this year in Komkom Rivers State and Ijegun in Lagos State. This is part of recommendations by the Senate ad hoc committee set up to investigate the two incidents. Ignatius Inko reports.
To pass the appropriation bill 2020 on the 28th of November by the grace of God.
The report of the Senate ad hoc committee on the two pipeline explosions in Rivers and Lagos states was given prominence as Senate suspended its rules to consider it first. Chairman of the committee, Senator Ibrahim Gobir, presented the report, which also recommended that NNPC accounts for 382.2 million naira earmarked for pipeline protection and called for sanctions against organizations, agencies, or persons found culpable.
To immediately send the relief materials to the fire incident victims of both communities. There are instances where some of these criminal gangs come along with firefighting equipment.
They know what to do. Indeed, at that time, we recommended that they should automate their pipeline surveillance. The NNPC needs to explain to our committee, the downstream, the measures they have had in place over the years, whether there is need to review this and even the agreements.
Senator Bima Inagi drew the attention of the Senate to the urgent need for the federal government to make funds available for the completion of the Barrow River Port project and for continuous dredging and maintenance of the Niger and Benue rivers,
as well as improving our road network by keeping heavy-duty trailers and trucks off our roads and thereby extending the lifespan of the roads.
The employment that Barrow ports will generate, not only for the inhabitants around there, but Nigerians from all nooks and corners of this country.
The necessity to revamp Nigeria's textile industry once again resonated on the floor of the Senate. Senator Kabiri Barkia brought in the motion, which also set restriction on the importation of foreign textile materials, while the borders continue to remain closed. The legislators passed 12 bills through first reading. These include the National Commission for the Prohibition of Hate Speeches Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Sabi Abdullahi, and the Federal University of Agriculture and Technology Funtua Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Bello Mandia from the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel and Development to provide geological records of gold deposits in Nigeria, being a major revenue earner. House members, while debating a motion from Ogene to prioritize gold mining in the country, noted that there is an estimated 21.40 tons of gold deposits in the area. The lawmaker said when properly managed, gold mining would fetch the government at least 30% annual revenue, pointing out that Nigeria is set to lose $9 billion yearly to illegal mining. The House, therefore, called for policy reviews to facilitate investment in gold mining. Tuesday plenary also featured the passing of a resolution on the need to review the directive from the Nigerian Customs Service suspending distribution of fuel to communities located 20 kilometers to the border to reduce the hardship of residents of affected areas. The closure of land borders in the country has been described as apt and impactful considering the successes recorded so far. Guest on NTA Current Affairs program Good Morning Nigeria said feedback from agencies involved stated that the security situation in the country, in Nigeria, has improved. Karim Jerry reports.
For closing the borders are trans-border security challenges like terrorism, banditry, mixed up, which is now yielding results, like curtailing influx of illegal migrants, smuggling of petroleum products outside the country, and improved security situation.
It has improved. Economic activities have been stimulated, at least local economic activities have been stimulated, and generally it's been good, and it's been worth the effort.
Now, the country stood up and said, look, if we continue this way, we can't get any economic policy right. There's no way Nigeria can have a good policy that will look up to say this industrial policy and manufacturing can move right. And I think, therefore, I suppose thank you.
They also noted that there has been increased patronage of local production.
On our position as trade traders and custom brokers, we are totally sort of disclosed because too many things have been happening under the current of the water.
Nigeria is getting its acts. We are trying now to understand and actually work rather than serving as the big brother, as we are being portrayed. We also are showing that we have our own interest. We have national interest, and we have to protect those interests.
They agree that the benefits of the border closure outweigh the disadvantages. In Abuja, Abdul Karim Zoni, NTA News.
Fighting corruption and insecurity at all levels is critical to the attainment of 2030 sustainable development goals and the provision of infrastructural development to Nigerians. This was the submission of stakeholders at the Center for Peace and Environment Studies 10th Annual Conference. The theme for the conference is Insecurity and Corruption Implication for Development in Africa. Aman Jabani reports.
Seated here are experts on security, anti-corruption sectors, and government officials addressing the challenges of insecurity and corruption that brought about derivation, alienation, and conflict among others in Nigeria, resulting into the emergence of insurgency groups and infrastructural deficits. The introduction of single treasury accounts, IPPIS, land border closure, whistleblower policy are some of the measures put in place by the government to address corruption.
Today we have so much investment in the military. We have increased funding for police. We have increased funding for anti-corruption agencies because we're able to recover money that is now put back into fighting corruption and making sure that we address the problem of insecurity.
Center for Peace and Environment for Justice, at its 10th annual conference and its partners, asked a pertinent question as to how best the twin evils of corruption and insecurity in Nigeria, in spite of effort made peaceful administration, could be tackled.
For all security agents, they try as much as possible to nip it at the bud. Then for corruption, yes, ICPC and EFCC are doing their best, but they should not perceive political enemies, but rather they should sincerely go after those who have looted the national treasury.
The gathering is synonymous in recommending improvement in the quality of governance in order to reduce the incidence of corruption and insecurity in Nigeria. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
Ogun State Governor praised Nta Abeokuta has dedicated his victory at the appeal court in Ibadan to people of the state who fully entrusted him with their mandate. The governor said this while playing host to the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the state, who came to felicitate with him. Lukman Adefeso's report is being presented in this package.
After a hard-fought judicial victory that went as far as the appellate court in Ibadan yesterday, the All Progressives Congress party is in happy mood. The leadership of the party in Ogun State, led by the Critical Committee Chairman, Chief Yemi Shamsi took the party to the government office of Nta Abeokuta to felicitate with him on his victory, describing the outcome of the judicial tussle and the final affirmation of the will of the people of the state on the choice of President Abiodun as their leader. Chief Shamsi said the path is now clear for the governor to deliver on his promises to the people.
Today is one of the days that we will put on the cap of relief, because today, as from today, we will put behind us all this distraction of our enemy, our opponent. They may go to as long as Supreme Court or anywhere. We don't care. The victory is victory of God, and we shall continue to protect it.
Receiving his guests, the happy President Abiodun lauded the judiciary for being fair and fair while dispensing justice in the matter.
We thank God for his faithfulness. We see this as a further reaffirmation of the victory that was given to us through the glory of God, but by the hard work of all Ogun State citizens on the 9th of March of 2019. And we have now been reassured that yes, we continue to rely on the judiciary. I want to reaffirm that as a government, we remain committed to our vision, which is to provide a focused and qualitative governance.
He appreciated the leadership of the party both at the national and state level, adding that the door is open for genuine collaboration across party lines.
If indeed the idea was to govern, was to offer themselves to serve the state, and we all know that only one person can occupy this at the same time. If that is the intention and the desire, it is now time for all of us to join hands together in this building the future of the state together.
He also assured residents of the state of purposeful leadership devoid of unnecessary distraction.
The Ikurake community in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, is in imminent danger of being cut off into two following a crater that has taken over its major road. Adeni Taiwo, who visited the area, reports that the road already poses a lot of danger to motorists and residents. This report.
Ake is one of the communities in the central part of Abeokuta with a dense population and an active business environment. The community is popular among residents of the state capital for hosting a thriving solo and selling as access routes to a major medical facility in the town. Residents of the community, however, have a cause to be worried as what started as a crack in the middle of its main road has now turned to a huge crater, threatening to cut the community in half. Already, the crater has taken over half of the road, leaving motorists and other road users just an hour portion not yet.
We are running away since 8 months ago. Even it's very dangerous as it is. So please, we are looking for the assistance of the government to take an immediate action, because it's very dangerous for the motors and for all people that's going here and there, even for the community entirely. So government should please with immediate help us so that we'll be able to be safe.
We have all
been living in fear. We want government to fix this place for us.
While Ikurake residents would rather blame the problem on the channelization of water done as part of construction of the Salake Adaton Road, our crew observed that indiscriminate dumping of refuse in drainages is also common around the area to prevent the community from being cut into two and avoid possible loss of lives, it is critical that relevant government agencies take steps to mend the road.
State governments should assist and local governments should assist us. All our efforts that by taking sand, everything cannot help.
Rain and erosion is causing it. I want government to help all the people of country to help us.
Until help comes, it is a race against time for residents and visitors to the Ipoake community as they still have to cope with the danger, especially at night. In Abeokuta, Nta Abeokuta News.
Nta News continues after this timeout. The federal initiative towards reviving the country's collapsed and abandoned garment industries has received a boost with the successful trial of a new cotton seed. Musa Babalu takes a look at the characteristics of the new cotton seed.
This is how cotton plants look like. It produces balls at its maturing stage, which will later burst to bring out soft tissue fiber. Agriculturalists say Nigerian farmers have been planting the cash crop since 1903, largely in the Savannah Belt, consisting states in the northern and southwestern parts of the country.
One of the highest employers of labor in this country, and it also created hundreds of thousands of jobs in the different textile mills.
In recent times, however, there is the fear that cotton in Nigeria will extinct as farmers have lost interest in its cultivation. This is due to high cost of production caused by insect infestation, low yield, coupled with issues relating to supply.
Without cotton, sustainable cotton production, then obviously the indigenous, who are the immediate users of the cotton produced by farmers, will not meet their installed capacities.
The federal government's policy towards reviving textile industries challenged the country's scientists on the need to produce a high-yielding variety of cotton seeds that are easy to manage and are pest-resistant.
The technology that will address the root cause of abandoning cotton production in Nigeria, revamp it, and also lower the cost of the production to farmers.
Consequently, a new variety has been identified which has undergone series of field and lab trials and are judged among the best in the world.
This crop is producing about 200 balls per plant, as against our existing crop that is producing less than 50 balls.
The African continent stands to benefit from this technology, however, lies heavily on its ability to efficiently communicate its potential benefits.
The Central Bank of Nigeria had already incorporated 100,000 farmers into her Anchor Borrowers program, with 190 billion naira set aside to support textile, lint, and garment industrialists. In Abuja, Musa Baba Ali, Nta News.
Traditional institutions have been identified as a reasonable tool for sustainable peace and information building. Media Adamu reports that this came to the fore at a one-day workshop for the traditional rulers and community leaders. Her report.
Aside from spearheading the affairs of their domains, they are also have the responsibility of maintaining security, law, and order. This therefore forms the basis for this training, which is to keep district, village, and ward heads ablaze with the nitty-gritty of safeguarding lives and property of the entire people of their various localities. The focal person of Green Horizon, Amina Mohammed Ali, at the occasion, said they are saddled with the responsibility of legal reformation, human rights, dispute resolution, community safety, as well as security matters. She said more than 300 traditional rulers and their subjects in different emirates of Borno, Yobe, and Adama have been trained in maintaining conflicts in Nigeria together with Presidential Committee on Northeast Initiative. The district head of Giri in Adamawa State, Dr. Ahmed Ibrahim Mustafa, said peace is an integral part for the development of every society and that traditional and community leaders around the globe are a beacon in which peace is built upon, and applauded the peace building capacity workshop, which is relevant to the present day crisis. Other speakers on the workshop are the chairman of Giri local government, Mohammed Jeddah Tukur, as well as opinion models who said the workshop will go a long way in bringing the needed lasting peace desirable anywhere in the world. In Yola, Mary Adamu, NTA News.
Road users across the country have been told to drive with caution and maintain the maximum speed limit to arrive safely at their various destinations. Ogun State Governor Prince Nta Abeokuta stated this at a mega rally to flag off 2019 Ember Month Road Safety Campaign organized by the Federal Road Safety Corps, Ogun State Sector Command. Hakim Jimo's report is presented.
Road crashes have become a daily occurrence across the country, with Ogun State sadly having its share. Recent statistics released by the Federal Road Safety Corps reveal that Ogun State recorded 617 road crashes since January 2019 to date, with an increase of about 43% over the previous year for the same period. These crashes claimed 301 lives, while 1,723 lives were rescued, while available statistics also aver that the number of road accidents are normally on the high side during the period between September and December. Experts blame this on over-seriousness and the quest to make more money on the part of the drivers. To address this, the State Sector Command of the FRSA flagged off the 2019 Ember Month Road Safety Campaign rally in Abeokuta, the state capital. Ogun State Sector Commander FRSA Clement Oladele wants motorists in the state to join hands in reducing carnage on the roads by adopting safety precautions.
So there's nothing like we have a marine spirit or any form of spirit that is disturbing people. What only disturbs people is because we have more vehicles, and because we have more vehicles, there is tendency that if only you are using the highway, you might not be involved in a crash. But because we know that, that is why we will intensify efforts to bring all our personnel, we close down our shops, our office, and come to the road to make sure that everybody travel in safety.
The state governor, President Nta Abeokuta, who was represented at the rally by his deputy, promised to make the roads motorable so as to drastically reduce road accidents.
Our government was really concerned about the state of roads in Ogun State. From a safety point of view has been shown by these statistics, and also from an economic point of view, roads are an economic barometer for anywhere you go, and there's potential for citizens and our residents to be able to move around, to work, play, and to trade. So these roads have formed the cornerstone of the agenda of Prince Dr. Abeokuta. To this end, he has established the Ogun State Public Works Agency, which will be responsible for rehabilitation and reconstruction of our township roads and our rural roads.
Representatives of other sister agencies assured of renewed collaboration with FRSA through regular sensitization of drivers on the need to shun reckless driving. The theme of the mega rally is road safety is a state of mind, road traffic crash is absence of mind. Stay alert, stay alive.
Experts advises Security and Exchange Commission on how to reduce investment risk in the country. Let's join Precious should report for details on business news tonight.
On business news tonight,
Securities and Exchange Commission has been advised to increase its efforts in building an efficient central counterparty ecosystem to mitigate risk of investment in the capital markets. The Managing Director, Equity Research Desk, Argentina, Mr. Bernardo Marijano, in an interview said other developed markets have been using CCP between 30 and 40 years. He advised SEC to take the cue from developed markets, adding that some personnel of the Central Bank of Nigeria went to Argentina to learn about international standards from financial experts. According to him, the CCP system will be beneficial to Nigeria capital markets as it has nothing to do with the political system in the country. He further said any individual or firm willing to set up a CCP in the country will have to follow international standards. In the meantime, the Deputy Director, Registration, Exchanges, Market Infrastructure and Innovation Department, SEC, Mr. Emeritini Adama, said the Commission was willing to support and boost the development of the CCP ecosystem in the country. That's all business news tonight.
Dayo Amusa releases trailer for a new film on Money. Oluwatosin Fashitere as the details as presented from our studio.
On entertainment news tonight, Dayo Amusa has released the trailer for a new film on Money. The trailer release is coming a year after the actress released a 2018 film, The Witch Bind Us, in the cinema. Directed by Muyiwa Ademola, Omoniyo features Segun Arinze, Dayo Amusa, Bimbo Thomas, and Seilat Adebowale. Omoniyo, an advocacy film that reveals destruction and defilement of a young girl who was raped by stepfather. The film is the newest of Amusa's list of advocacy movies, which include Unforgivable, starring Desmond Elliott. Meanwhile, this jockey took to her Instagram page on Monday, November 11, 2019, where she shared the big news. According to Kopi, this was the best birthday gift she has ever received. DJ Kopi, through our foundation, has been able to reach out to a lot of Nigerian kids. Back in 2018, she was made an ambassador to Save the Children in UK. On this note,
Super Eagle DK brings us more on sports updates.
Eagles of Nigeria hope to make a strong start to their 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign against the Squirrels of Benin Republic on Wednesday at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital.
It feels good. It's like a home for us always, and we're ready to give our best and make the fans happy. I know it's a very difficult game, but we know the task ahead of us, so we have to do our best to win the first game.
In furtherance of its plans to increase the viewership base of the Nigeria Professional Football League, the league management company in Abuja Tuesday unveiled plans with its partners, including an online platform, Next TV, for live transmission of league matches, as the Nigerian Television Authority is also set to play a major role in content production in the 2019-2020 season.
All over the world, league football is driven by production. If you don't produce your content, you have no money. The reason why all the global leagues are dominating our networks is because somebody is producing those games and putting them on the plate for all the networks to buy.
Officials of the International Cycling Union, the world governing body for cycling, Tuesday inspected the facilities at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, as Nigeria joins Senegal and Burkina Faso to bid for a satellite track cycling center for the West African region. Areas inspected include the velodrome, sports medicine, and athlete hostel.
It's a big place. I think it's the best place in West Africa because we don't have many tracks in Africa.
I am very, very confident that this one will become a reality.
Nigeria will be the hub of track cycling in the region if selected. With sports update, Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
That sports update concludes our bulletin for tonight. Good night. I am Lekon Agbonde.
Àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè kan gbìnàyà ní ọgbẹ́ nílùú Abẹ́òkúta lónìí bí wọ́n ṣe mú ọlọ́kọ̀ kan lé. Gómìnà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ẹ ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ lójú pópónà lásìkò oṣù bàbàbà yìí pẹ̀lú ìlérí láti tún ọ̀nà tó bàjẹ́ ṣe. Àwọn èèyàn agbègbè Ìpòrò Akẹ́ nílùú Abẹ́òkúta ti ké gbàjarè lórí ọ̀nà wọn tó ti di páńpẹ́ ikú. Wàyí ẹ̀wọ̀n nǹkan fìdílé láti gbọ́ ìròyìn ọ̀hún ní kíkún. Fúnmiláyọ̀ Pátọ́lá ni oníròyìn ọ̀hún rèé. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ aláwùrábí ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀mí bóyá ni ò bá ṣòfò lóòrọ̀ òní nígbà tí àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè kan tí a kò mọ̀ tí wọ́n gbìnàyà bá àwọn èèyàn agbègbè ọgbẹ̀ nílùú Abẹ́òkúta ní òwúrọ̀ òní. Ńṣe ni oníkálukú wà nínú hílàhílo tí wọ́n sì ń sá lọ fún ẹ̀mí ara wọn látàrí bí wọn ò tẹ̀ ṣe bìkítà tí wọ́n fi tìbọn àti nǹkan lé ọlọ́kọ̀ náà tí wọ́n gbàgbọ́ pé bóyá ó gbé ọkọ̀ náà wọlé lọ́nà fàyàwọ́. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ aláwùrábí ni ò jẹ́ kí ẹnìkan tí ó ń ta nǹkan jíjẹ ní ìkóríta NTA àti àwọn ọmọ tó máa ń ṣeré níbẹ̀ kí wọ́n ti já láìsí lọ́wọ́ hílàsúgbà náà tí ó bẹ́. Èyí ló mú kí àwọn èèyàn agbègbè náà kí wọ́n fa ìbínú yọ tí wọ́n sì kọ̀ tí wọ́n ṣíbo àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè náà tí a kò mọ orúkọ wọn. Àwọn aṣòfin àgbà tó rọ iléeṣẹ́ elépo àìfọ̀ nílẹ̀ wa yẹn NNPC àtàwọn iléeṣẹ́ míì tó farapẹ́ wípé kí wọ́n ṣe ìwádìí tó jinlẹ̀ lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ àjálù iná tí fífọ́ ọ̀pá epo tó fọ́ lóṣù kejì ọdún tí a wà nínú rẹ̀ yìí tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers àti Ìjẹ̀gùn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó dá sílẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Ignatius Nkọ tó wà pẹ̀lú wọn ní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ lọ́jọ́bọ̀ náà sọ wípé ìpinnu yìí ló ní ṣe pẹ̀lú àbájáde ìgbìmọ̀ àdákọ́ńkọ́ táwọn aṣòfin àgbà náà ní kí wọ́n lọ ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ àjálù iná méjèèjì. Ó ní àwọn aṣòfin náà ti dá lábàá kí iléeṣẹ́ náà sanwó gbàmábínú fáwọn tó fara káṣá àjálù iná méjèèjì níbi tí ènìyàn 16 ti já láìsí. Wọ́n tọ́ka sí pé yàtọ̀ sí pé àwọn ọlọ́pàá epo náà ti di yàtọ̀ sí pé àwọn ọ̀pá epo náà wọ́n ti di kànbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ara léyìí tó ṣokùnfà àjálù ọ̀hún. Wọ́n ní àìbìkítà pa nípa ètò ààbò ẹ̀mí ó kún ohun tó fa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà. Àwọn aṣòfin àgbà ọ̀hún ti wá ké sí iléeṣẹ́ NNPC tó wá ṣàlàyé bí wọ́n ṣe ná irinwó mílíọ̀nù owó náírà ó dín díẹ̀ léyìí tí wọ́n yà sọ́tọ̀ fún ààbò ọ̀pá epo. Síwájú sí láti ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àpapọ̀ ilé wa, ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àpapọ̀ ilé wa ti rọ iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ìdàgbàsókè ẹ̀ka ìwakùsà àti irin wípé kí wọ́n ṣàmúlò àkọsílẹ̀ àwọn ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì eléyìí tó sodo sí ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà láti bá máa fi pawó wọlé. Nígbà tí wọ́n ń jíròrò lórí àbá náà tí ọ̀kan lára wọn gbé kalẹ̀, wọ́n ní àdúrà eléyìí tí Ọlọ́run tó fi jíǹkí orílẹ̀-èdè ṣe àkóso ẹ̀ka ìwakùsà lọ́nà tó tọ́. Wọ́n ní bí ìdá 30 nínú ọgọ́rùn-ún owó tó ń wọlé sápò ìjọba òun ló ti ẹ̀ka náà wá lọ́dọọdún pẹ̀lú àsọyé wípé bílíọ̀nù 9 owó dọ́là ilẹ̀ òkèèrè ni ìjọba ń pàdánù lọ́dọọdún láti ẹ̀ka ìwakùsà. Àwọn aṣòfin náà wá pè fún àgbéyẹ̀wò láti ṣokùnfà ìdókòwò lẹ́ka ìwakùsà. Bákan náà làwọn aṣòfin náà tún jíròrò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó kan àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè àti títì tí wọ́n ti àwọn ilé epo tí kò jìnnà púpọ̀ sáwọn ẹnubodè ìlú pa. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti sọ wípé àwọn tó fínúfẹ́dọ̀ dìbò fún òun láti di gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lòun fi ìṣẹ́gun tóun ní níbi ìdájọ́ eléyìí tí ilé-ẹjọ́ gíga jùlọ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Ìbàdàn tí ó gbé kalẹ̀ lánàá òde yìí nígbà tó ń bá àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressives Congress APC tí wọ́n lọ sí oríire sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lukman Adéfẹ̀sọ tó wà pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ òun ló jábọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ohun tó ń bọ̀ síwájú sí i láti ẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Lẹ́yìn awuyewuye ní ilé-ẹjọ́ eléyìí tí ó jáde lórí ètò àbájáde èsì ìdìbò gómìnà ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ní ilé-ẹjọ́ gíga tó wà ní ìlú Ìbàdàn lánàá ní inú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressives Congress APC àti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí ń dùn níbi tí ẹjọ́ náà yọrí sí. Èyí ló fà á tí ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún tẹ́ni tó jẹ́ adelé alága ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún olóyè Yẹmí Sànúsí kó àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ sòdí lọ sí iléeṣẹ́ gómìnà tó wà ní Òkè Mọ̀sán ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta láti lọ bá a yọ̀ fún bí ó ṣe jìjà borí nínú ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà. Nígbà tí ó ń ṣe àpèjúwe àbájáde èsì ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ohun tí ó fi ìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ fún ìpinnu àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lórí yíyan ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún sípò gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà, olóyè Sànúsí sọ wípé ní báyìí ojú ọ̀nà ti là fún gómìnà láti ṣe iṣẹ́ àti mú gbogbo ìlérí tó ṣe lásìkò ètò ìpolongo ìbò wá sí ìmúṣẹ fún àwọn ènìyàn. Nígbà tó ń gba àwọn ènìyàn náà lálejò, gómìnà ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún tí ìdùnnú hàn gbangba lójú rẹ̀ gbóríyìn fún ẹ̀ka ètò ìdájọ́ fún bí wọ́n ṣe ṣiṣẹ́ tọkàntara tí wọ́n sì fi ìdájọ́ náà múlẹ̀ láì fi ìgbà kan bọ̀ kan nínú. Ó dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ẹgbẹ́ náà gbà àti ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ó fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ wípé ó ní ní báyìí ilẹ̀kùn ti ṣí sílẹ̀ fún ẹnikẹ́ni àbí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kọ̀ọ̀kan láti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìṣèjọba òun kí ìlérí mímúgbò ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn padà kí ó lè wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ó wá rọ àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn wípé ìjọba òun kò ní káàdé ọkàn láti rí i pé ọjọ́ ọ̀la ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn túbọ̀ dára sí i. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni ti jábọ̀ ròyìn láti lè ṣe ti Abẹ́òkúta.
Bó ti ṣe jẹ́ pé inú oṣù bàbàbà láwà báyìí wọ́n ti sọ fún àwọn awakọ̀ káàkiri ilẹ̀ wa wípé kí wọ́n wakọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ kí wọ́n sì ṣọ́ra ṣe lórí ààrẹ àsápajúdé lójú pópónà gbogbo. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ló gbà wọ́n lámọ̀ràn yìí níbi ètò kan tí wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ṣíde ìrìnnà lásìkò oṣù bàbàbà èyí tí iléeṣẹ́ ìṣojú pópónà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn gbé kalẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Akeem Jimoh ló bá wọn wà ń bẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ohun tó ń bọ̀ síwájú sí látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Kẹ́mi Ọ̀húnṣolú Síkírù.
Onírúurú ìjàmbá ọkọ̀ tó ń wáyé lójú òpópónà káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láì yọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn kúrò ti ń di ohun tó ń pè fún àyẹ̀wò àti ìgbìyànjú kọ̀ọ̀kan látọwọ́ àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn. Bí ìwádìí ti fi hàn pé èèyàn 11 ló ti ṣègbé sínú ìjàmbá ọkọ̀ nígbà tí iléeṣẹ́ FRS dóòlà ẹ̀mí èèyàn tó tó 18 nínú ọdún yìí. Bí ó ti wá kù díẹ̀ báyìí tí pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn ìparí ọdún yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó sì jẹ́ lákòókò yìí ní lílọ bíbọ̀ máa ń pọ̀ sí lójú òpópónà káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Èrè ìdí tí àjọ elétò ààbò ojú òpópónà orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìpolongo láti ṣe ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ lórí pàtàkì ààbò lójú òpópónà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Gómìnà ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ẹni tí igbákejì rẹ̀ náà Ìmọ̀t Sàlàkọ Oyèdélé ṣojú fún ṣe ìlérí níbi ètò ìpolongo ọ̀hún wípé ìjọba yóò bójú wo àwọn òpópónà gbogbo nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí yóò sì ṣèrìn fún gbogbo ọkọ̀ láti lè mú ẹ̀dínkù bá ìjàmbá ọkọ̀ ní ojú òpópónà gbogbo nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn.
Ìjọba ti ń gbìmọ̀ àti máa tí àwọn títí ṣe díẹ̀ àti bá òun tó pọ̀ nípa ìjọba ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí máa ṣe iṣẹ́ lójú títì káàkiri bó ti bá ṣe tún dá ọ̀tún máa rí ẹ̀rọ ọmọ sí bọ́ ṣe ń lọ. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ìjọba ìpín àti ìjọba òkùnkùn ìpínlẹ̀ tó lọ bá ìjọba àpapọ̀ wọ́n ti bá president ọdún nínú Buhari pé kí wọ́n jọ fẹ́ fún wa ní títì Lagos Ọ̀tà Abẹ́òkúta
àti ògùnkè ṣàgámù.
Àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò ojú òpópónà mìíràn tó wà níbẹ̀ pàápàá ṣèlérí láti máa wà ní ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ FRSC fún ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ lóòrèkóòrè fún àwọn awakọ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Àkórí ìwọ́de náà ni wọ́n pè ní ipò ẹ̀mí ní ààbò ojú òpópónà, ìṣàkólọ ẹ̀mí ní ìjàmbá ojú òpópónà jẹ́. Kẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù ló ti ń jábọ̀ ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Ìpòrò Aké nílùú Abẹ́òkúta ti ṣe lùlù ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn òun ló ti ṣẹ̀ ń di páńpẹ́ ikú báyìí látàrí bó ṣe ti fẹ́ gé sí méjì. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adéníyì Taiwo tó lọ sí agbègbè náà sọ wípé pẹ̀lú nífu àyàfo làwọn tó ní láti rìn lọ́nà náà fi ń kọjá níbẹ̀ báyìí àtọlọ́kọ̀ àtàwọn tó ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn. Ẹgbọ́n tó mú bọ̀ síwájú sí látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Ìpòrò Aké jẹ́ ọ̀kan gbòógì lára àwọn àdúgbò àárín gbùngbùn ìlú Abẹ́òkúta pẹ̀lú ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olùgbé tí ó kún àdúgbò náà. Ìpòrò Aké ló gbajúmọ̀ láàárín àwọn olùgbé olúìlú ìpínlẹ̀ yìí bí ìlú náà ti ní ìsọ̀ lílà àti ta pátákó tí ó gbòòrò. Bákan náà ni Ìpòrò Aké ní ojú ọ̀nà tí ó lọ sí àwọn ilé ìwòsàn pàtàkì ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta. Àwọn olùgbé àdúgbò náà ní ìrònú ti dorí àgbà wọn kodò látàrí ojú ọ̀nà àdúgbò ọ̀hún tí ó ti sán pẹ́rẹpẹ̀rẹ tí ó sì ti di pàkúté ikú fún àwọn olùgbé àdúgbò náà. Pàápàá àwọn ọlọ́kọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ àti alùpùpù ọ̀kadà ni ó jẹ́ pé ìwọ̀nba ojú ọ̀nà kékeré tí ó ṣẹ́kù ni wọ́n ń gbà kọjá.
apart from pé kò gbà wá láàyè láti pé ká máa kọjá lásìkò bó lè ṣe wà yìí gan bí àwọn èèyàn ò bá ṣàkíyèsí lọ́wọ́ alẹ́ wọ́n lè já sínú ẹ̀ so wá bẹ ìjọba kí wọ́n tètè ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti ti wá ṣe ọ̀nà yìí kó má jẹ́ ó pẹ́ rárá.
òun lè ṣíṣe omi yẹn le gan ló jẹ́ kí bíbá yìí ló yẹ kó ya lulẹ̀ báyìí kán jọ nítorí ìtọ́lọ́run kán ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lórí ẹ̀ torí kó má yẹ kí bóyá pé nǹkan tó máa mú ẹ̀mí dání Ọlọ́run á kún wọn lọ́wọ́ ṣiṣẹ́.
ìjọba bí òjò ẹ ṣe ń rọ̀ ó máa ya tí ìṣe ẹjọ́ ẹ bá bẹ àwọn ìjọba kán ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Àwọn olùgbé Ìpòrò Aké sọ pé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ló wáyé látàrí ojú ọ̀nà ọ̀gbàrá tí wọ́n darí rẹ̀ sí àdúgbò náà nígbà tí wọ́n ń ṣe ojú ọ̀nà tó lọ sí ìsàlẹ̀ Aké àti Àdátán. Akọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta ṣàkíyèsí dídà ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ àti ìdọ̀tí sójú ọ̀nà ọ̀gbàrá náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí òkùnfà èyí láti dènà kí àdúgbò náà pínyà sí méjì tí ó sì lè ṣokùnfà ìpàdánù ẹ̀mí àti dúkìá. Ó ṣe pàtàkì kí iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn tètè gbégbésẹ̀ àtúnṣe sí ojú ọ̀nà náà. Ìdánilójú wà pé jàǹbá òfò ẹ̀mí ni a lè dènà tí àwọn olùgbé àdúgbò Ìpòrò Aké bá lè yàgò fún dídà ohun ẹlẹ́gbin sójú ọ̀nà ọ̀gbàrá náà kí wọ́n sì wà lójúfò nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń gba ojú ọ̀nà àdúgbò náà kọjá pàápàá ní àṣálẹ́. Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀ ló jábọ̀rọ̀ fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Wọ́n ti sọ wípé àfi kí wọ́n lẹ́yìn ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àti àjẹbánu tó ń ètò ààbò tó mẹ́hẹ̀ ní ìpele kọ̀ọ̀kan òun nìkan ló lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n lójú ráyè pèsè àwọn ohun ìdẹ̀rùn àti amúlùúdùn tó jíire fún àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí pátá. Èyí ni kò mú òkun ọ̀rọ̀ táwọn tó sọ̀rọ̀ níbi àpérò tí ibùdó tó ń rí sí àlàáfíà àti ètò ìdájọ́ òdodo gbé kalẹ̀ eléyìí tó jẹ́ ẹ̀kẹwàá irú rẹ̀ léyìí tí àkòrí rẹ̀ ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àti ètò ààbò tó mẹ́hẹ̀ kí ni àtúbọ̀tán rẹ̀ lórí ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ lápapọ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Aman Jibane ló jábọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn ẹ̀ síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Àpérò lórí gbígbógun ti ìwà àjẹbánu àti ìpèsè ààbò nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ìpàdé àpérò lórí gbígbógun ti ìwà àjẹbánu àti ìpèsè ààbò nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ti ṣe láti wá ọ̀nà àbáyọ sí rògbòdìyàn ìjà àjàkú akátá láàrin àgbègbè kan sí òmíràn ìwà àjẹbánu àti bí àwọn ọmọ tí ń kóra wọn jọ sí ẹgbẹgbẹ́. Bákan náà ni ṣíṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àpò ìṣúná kan ṣoṣo IPPIS títí kan títí ẹnu bodè pa ṣíṣe òfófó àwọn oníwà ìbàjẹ́ tí a mọ̀ sí whistleblower tí ó jẹ́ ara ìgbésẹ̀ láti dènà àbẹ̀jẹ̀bánu àti pípèsè ààbò nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Àwọn ológun àti ọlọ́pàá bákan náà ni wọ́n ti ṣe àtúnṣe àti ìrónílágbára fún títí kan àwọn àjọ tí ó ń gbógun ti ìwà jìbìtì àti ìwà ìdángbogbo. Èyí sì ti yọrí sí rírí ọ̀pọ̀ owó tí wọ́n ti jí kó padà sápò ìjọba. Àjọ Center for Peace and Environment for Justice ló ṣètò àpérò ọdọọdún náà láti fi bójú wo ọ̀rọ̀ ìwà ìjẹbánu àti ìpèsè ààbò nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n pè fún ṣíṣàìdá ẹnikẹ́ni sí nínú gbígbógun ti ìwà àjẹbánu ọ̀hún. Ṣèyí Ògùnbáyọ̀ ló jábọ̀ fún iṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Wọ́n ti sọ pé títì tí wọ́n ti ẹnu bodè ìlú tó wọ orílẹ̀-èdè ipa ó ti mú àbájáde tó dára wọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó ti dín ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àti ìwà jàgídíjàgan eléyìí tó ń kó bá ètò ààbò nílẹ̀ wa kù. Àwọn tó sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò wa alájìmúnà ní lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ìyẹn Good Morning Nigeria, àwọn ni wọ́n sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Ẹ gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n sọ síwájú sí látẹnu Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Ẹnu bodè ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà pa látàrí àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí àti apaniláyà tí ó ń wu ààbò àti àlàáfíà ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà léwu. Bákan náà ni kíkó àwọn ohun ìjà wọlé láì bẹ́tọ̀ mu àti kíkó àwọn ẹrù tí kò bófin mu wọlé. Àwọn àlejò lórí ètò NTA Good Morning Nigeria sọ pé títí ẹnubodè pa tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ gbégbèsè rẹ̀ ni ó ti mú àbájáde rere wá. Àwọn àlejò náà sọ pé òdiwọ̀n ti dé bá ṣíṣe fàyàwọ́ ìrẹsì, epo rọ̀bì àti pé ààbò ti wà báyìí nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú sí pé ọrọ̀ ajé ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ti ròkè sí yàtọ̀ sí kí àṣẹ títí ẹnubodè pa tó wáyé. Àlejò mìíràn sọ pé àwọn tí ó ń ṣe ọ̀gbìn ìrẹsì nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà àti àwọn tó ń ṣe ohun tí à ń lò lábẹ́lé ni ẹ̀rín ti ń pa ẹ̀kẹ́ wọn bí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ti ń bá wọn ná. Nígbà tí àlejò mìíràn sọ pé ìgbésẹ̀ yìí yóò mú kí àwọn oníṣẹ́ ajé kéréje náà di oníṣẹ́ ajé ńlá. Ṣèyí Ògùnbáyọ̀ ló jábọ̀ rẹ̀ fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Tó kí alọ́rọ̀ àbí kó bá wa tún lù ṣe kógún gẹ́gẹ́. Ìròyìn wa fún ti àṣálẹ́ òní kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹ pàdé wa láṣálẹ́ ọ̀la fún àkọ́tún ìròyìn. Òun rẹ̀ lásùn ó dàrọ̀.
Dògbò ọtọ délẹ rẹ mi sẹdọ yìí nya òun dé gun ọgbẹ ìkúdó ìjà yìí ní television television ọ̀rọ̀ Nta Abeokuta tó mọ tó mi dé jẹ ní Anthony Dandoni òmùwé mi sì gán yí lọ́dọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Anthony Dandoni òmùwé mi sì gán yí lọ́dọ̀ òmùwé sì gán yí gbígbọ sọyì tó gbé rẹ mi sẹdọ yé gbọ tó àfọnù gbé tó hòrùn dé kpọnọ dògbò họtọ délẹ ìgbẹtọ mẹm yìí máa yín délẹ yìí nya o ní ọgbẹ sílẹ̀ tó Abẹ́òkúta fèrè gbẹtọ lẹnu lọtún lẹ gọnà àsúnsì àsúnpá Nta Abẹ́òkúta tún lẹ wẹmí sẹdọ yóò hùn bú bó sọ hàn gbọdọ hùn gbígbọ yìí dé tán tó hùn dé àlìhò sí títò nẹ kpọnọ dògbò sọtọ àyè tẹ tán lẹ. Àhàrà Abẹ́òkúta tún lẹ pẹ̀lú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí tó jẹ òun lé yanjú gbóyan òun lọ gbọ̀n tó towó sílẹ̀ nídó bí ọ̀gbẹ̀ bọ̀ òun lọ́sọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bí àlìhò rétírán ọgbẹ̀ tó yí ẹ̀bù aláparò sílẹ̀ nù tó Abẹ́òkúta fèlè ní sèdọ̀ òun lọ́ hèjọ́ lọ. Iye yín òjìrẹ́ hèmí òwúrọ̀ mi filẹ̀ nà tó ń sàn òwúrọ̀ mi tó gbóná tí tó àlè ojú ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé ọ̀dẹ́ yìí náà mọ̀ sí tó àlè rọ́jí ena sususu mẹ̀yìn dúdú Saturday etí tó lẹ́nu ọgbẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ sí àlè òkúrìjì wọ̀ ní sẹ́dọ̀ ẹ̀dọ́hìá gbogbo tàmí kòmìnà mọ́tò pé ẹ̀nà wà lọ jákọ́ ṣe ìpónà àlè ọ̀hún pa ẹ̀nà dògbó sọ́tọ̀ wẹ́lẹ̀ yìí zán tó gbé gbogbo nígbà yìí yàn ọ̀hún dé má jẹ̀rọ̀ yìí níyàn dókí ọ fìdí jẹ̀rọ̀ ẹ má jẹ̀rọ̀ níbí ọ ní sẹ́dọ̀ ọ̀hún kún tọ́lọ́ ẹ̀ ní sẹ́dọ̀ ẹ dẹ́ ọ̀hún ó tàn lọ sí àlọ́ gbogbo ọ lẹ́dọ́dọ́ náà tó ọgbẹ̀ fún ẹ. òsèǹdó wàdà hó àyíká ìtàn wọ̀ ní sẹ́dọ̀ ẹ kó sọ̀rọ̀ náà yìí petrol mizan pa àyíká ìtàn ó ní NNPC dọ̀nà ánímọ̀dọ̀ ẹ bá sí ẹ nà fọ́zẹ́ pọ́n sí àsán nàdọ́mọ̀dọ̀ yìí wà sọ́ńdọ́ àmì pọ́n sí ògàndé rẹ̀ hẹ́ẹ́mẹ́ òsì kó sọ̀rọ̀ bí ọ bó sọ̀rọ̀ hàn ń gbé tàbí àmì pọ́n sí ògàndé gbà bó sọ́dọ̀ níbọ̀ nìyẹn tán tó mẹ́tò sùn ṣáwọn ìtọ́ òpè mẹ́tàn tó kọ́m sílẹ̀ nù tó rivers sí mátẹ̀mẹ̀ ó dóde sọ́jọ́ tó ìjẹ̀gùn sílẹ̀ nù tó àwọn mátẹ̀mẹ̀ kò ehe lọ́rọ̀ yín òun he àìsígbẹ́hẹ́ òsèǹdó ọlọ́dẹ́tẹ̀ ìdóòmù parapara sí òhójì nàdọ́mọ̀dọ̀ yé gbàdọ̀ pọ́nná òun àwòrọ́lẹ̀ ẹnẹ àhófì àwòrọ́lẹ̀ ìjọ tó rivers sí mátẹ̀mẹ̀ kó dó àwọn ibi mátẹ̀mẹ̀ kò èyí tó rí tán ignatius kọ wọ yìí gígọ́rùn lọ́tàn dọ́wà náà títò mítàn NTA tán jí ẹnì kòtò ó títí tó inú ìrọ̀rọ̀ good morning Nigeria tán jí lọ́wọ́ ní sẹ́dọ̀ ìgbẹ́dọ̀ ìgọ̀hẹ́ nítorí mọ̀ sán àyítẹ́ẹ̀mẹ̀ sán ògbẹ́wọ̀n mọ̀ rẹ̀ sí dóhìá tó gbọ́ná àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sán sí àyítẹ́ẹ̀tàn lẹ̀ dóhìá bọ̀dọ̀ àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sí títò àyítẹ́ Nàìjíríà tán kò sọ òhìn àgbọn àgà yìí nígbó mọ́ ẹ̀ òníwò àdéfò mọ́ nǹkan tán lẹ̀ kò sọ ìjọba ìtọ́nitàn Abdulkareem yẹni wọ yìí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wa náà. ogun yìí má tẹ̀ gan ẹni àhọ́bí Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún wọ ní sẹ́dọ̀ kò sọ òdóhìá ẹni tàwọn tán èdò tó òwò ẹ̀ ọmọ ayé nìkan sí òwò dídá títò wáyé mẹ́tò Ìbàdàn rẹ̀ lórí òníwò dóhìá dọ̀gbẹ̀tọ́ àyímátẹ̀ tán lẹ̀ lọ́nùgbò ẹ̀yìn bravo dózèrè tó gàjí ìlú àyèmátẹ̀gánlọ́ òní tó yí jóná mẹ̀yìn nǹkan tọ́ tówó dọ̀gbẹ́ Progressive Congress APC tán tó àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀ kí wá bó wá dọ̀nùdò tó àsán ọ̀tàn ìrìn tó nípa lókùnmọ̀ ní adófẹ̀sọ̀ yìí kí gbọ́rùn lọ́tàn wá gbọdọ̀ àyèmátẹ̀gánlọ́ tó àsán ọ̀tàn àfọ́nà ẹgbẹ́ wúrẹ̀ yí jóná nǹkan tọ́ tòwó dọ̀gbẹ́ Progressive Congress APC tán tó àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀ kí àsìkòjú náà tọ́ wọ́gbò pọ́n tọ́ láti tó lọ́tàn àìsíngbẹ́rọ́tàn tó àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀ ẹnẹ ṣànúsí èjẹ̀nùkan náà eré ọ̀tàrùn tán lọ́hẹ́ ẹnudó dóhì àbọ̀dọ̀ àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀ rẹ̀ nígbó wọ ẹ̀nà kóòtù nínú kó sọ́gbọ́láfù nínú nígbó kò zéni tó ọ̀gànjì mẹ̀ṣẹ̀lẹ̀ mọ́mọ́ ọ̀gàn lè tó gbòmì kémi ní kóòtù máa sí nǹkan mi tó sọ ìjà náà gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn dófò ìwòtọ́ dàbí.